We got a late night prediction Friday. Woo! Woo-hoo. We got injuries to talk about. We got a matchup to look at with the Cardinals coming up. Figured we'd let the hair down for this one. You guys already know what to do. Drop an SDS in the chat. Let's talk some 49ers football to end our Friday night. Let's go. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it. What are the vibes, ladies and gentlemen? Hopefully we are having a good night tonight. It's Friday. Whoo! It's Friday. Almost ready for bed. It's 8 o'clock for me. But if you are not on the West Coast, it's very late for you. Apologies for coming to you guys late today. Working all kinds of stuff behind the scenes. But I was like, man, even though we're doing some good stuff behind the scenes, I was like, man, I got to come on. We got to do our live. And you know what? If not that many people join, that's fine. We'll just vibe out. You're in SoCal. Oh my goodness. It's 8 o'clock. You got this. You're good. You're gonna survive. I guess before we get into kind of previewing the matchup between the Arizona Cardinals, kind of looking at their roster, kind of seeing how it's shaking out, we got a lot of injury stuff to talk about today. Obviously, you've probably already heard about it, but San Francisco 49ers going to have a couple starters out, it appears, for this game against the Arizona Cardinals. Looks like they're going to be without Javon Hargrave, Eric Armstead, Elijah Mitchell. We already knew Oren Burks and Dwelly were going to be out, but two starters. And it's crazy because they are interior defensive tackles. Both the starting defensive tackles are going to be out this game against the Arizona Cardinals. So that means someone's going to have to step up. And we know who it's going to be. It's going to be Javon Kinlaw and Kevin Givens. And then we got to see who the San Francisco 49ers are going to bring up from the practice squad. So, although, you don't like losing your two starting interior defensive tackles, which is not good, I do think the 49ers can backfill this in a way where they still find success. Again, I think Javon Kinlaw is having a hell of a year. Kevin Givens, I have a ton of confidence in. I really do think both these guys are heavy rotational players, so they already play a lot. So it's not like they're getting thrust into the games for the first time. They've been playing all season. They're just going to see more snaps than usual. And like I said, I have confidence in both Kinlaw and Givens to be able to fill the role. It'll just be interesting to see what the rotational guys ultimately look like in the end. But it does sound like the 49ers O-line will be back to normal. Aaron Banks looks like he'll be good to go at left guard. Spencer Burford looks like he'll be able to go at right guard. Travarius Ward is angling to play. And it looks like Dre Greenlaw is good to go. So, not ideal, but not the worst either. Like if we're being honest, I don't want to say it's just the Cardinals, right? But I'm kind of looking at it in the sense of we've already talked about how this game could be a trap game. I don't think the ultimate outcome will be a trap, but I do think the Cardinals will play the 49ers pretty tough. The biggest thing for me is obviously you got to go to AZ and you got to get the dub. That's number one. But number two, I want to be healthy for the Ravens. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to be as full strength as possible when the Ravens come to town on Christmas, because that's going to be a big matchup, a big boy fight. So I want to be healthy for that one. I want to see Eric Armstead be able to go. I want to see Hargrave be able to go for the Ravens against the Cardinals. I'm okay with them not playing, especially if they're not close to 100. So that's fine. But it sounds like everyone else is getting back. So, I think this is going to be a battle. I think back to the previous, games that the 49ers have had against the Cardinals. Brock's taking care of the Cardinals. He took care of them last year at home. I was at that game. And then they had the Mexico showdown, and the 49ers with Jimmy Garoppolo absolutely eviscerated the Cardinals in that particular game. Just dominated them. So the 49ers have the upper hand, at least when you look back at what they've done. And we already know the 49ers are the better team. It's not up for debate. But we do understand that any given Sunday does exist, and we are the hunted. And sometimes there are situations that exist where teams will show up to play the big bad wolf. And right now, the San Francisco 49ers are that big bad wolf coming to blow their house down. Technically, our rental home, yeah. Do you guys remember that? Do you guys remember that fun time of our lives when the San Francisco 49ers got kicked out of Santa Clara, and they had to go play in Arizona for the last month of the season? You guys remember that? Um, I'll never forget. I feel so bad for the city of Santa Clara's social media person, because this isn't their fault at all. But, I have quite a bit of followers on Instagram. I think we're almost to 200,000 followers on Instagram. And, I'm very passionate. I'm very passionate. And when I saw that the 49ers got kicked out of Santa Clara, I took all my or I didn't take all of them, but I did gently suggests that they should go over to the city of Santa Clara's Instagram account and let them know how they felt. And anyways, the point being is that was a fun time. Back in 2020. They have experience there. It's not like this is newfound territory for them. So I think the 49ers are going to be all right down there in AZ. I don't think the 49ers are just going to roll over, or eat, or anything like that. I think the 49ers should be fine. But, you've heard from Kyle Shanahan this week. You've heard from Fred Warner. You've heard from a lot of 49ers players who are giving the Arizona Cardinals some credit for how they've been playing as of late, with a lot of the energy and how they've been going about executing. They've been doing okay. Might not be showing up in the win column, but they are playing pretty hard. So we will have to take this team, and we don't want to lose to them. That's for sure. Oh, yep. I'm glad you caught it. I haven't pulled the backwards hat out in a minute. Oh, geez, remember when all I would wear is backwards hats? But we'll see. We'll see. How long has it been since we've seen Kyler? Was it at the beginning of last year, maybe 2 years ago? Did we see him in Mexico? I felt like we saw Colt in Mexico. And then I feel like we saw Colt again I don't know. I think it's been a while. But, Kyler has given us fits at times because he does have the ability to play from the pocket, but he also has the ability to scramble around, escape, and extend, which, if you're a 49er fan, you know that the 49ers historically have had a hard time kind of stopping that. Um, but we'll see. We'll see how they fare against Kyler. And to be honest with you, it's a great test for the 49ers before they head into the Ravens. Like, if you really think about it, if you think about a mobile, like an extremely mobile quarterback who can throw and play well from the pocket, you got two of them back to back. So you've got Kyler this week, you've got Lamar Jackson next week. Perfect opportunity to work your contain on defense, keep them in the pocket, don't allow them to escape. All those different types of things. So it'll be a great test. Great test. So Kyler Murray will be back. James Conner will be back. I agree with this 100%. Trey McBride is balling. Trey McBride's going to be a name that I think really I think he's super underrated right now because the Cardinals are just trash. So no one talks about the Cardinals. But I feel like every time I look over at the Cardinals, Trey McBride is doing something. Trey McBride is legit. He really is. I forget exactly where he went to college. I remember watching Colorado State. Yes, I got it. I beat it. Right as I said, I don't remember where he went to college. Boom, it came to me. Colorado State. I remember watching him coming into the draft. He was a prospect that I liked quite a bit. Former second round draft pick on the year, 56 receptions, 610 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns. He's good. He's good. He's a second round draft pick for a reason. So he is, and him and Kyler seemingly are building quite the rapport here. So it's going to be up to the linebackers, safeties, and all those different types of things to be able to neutralize him because he's becoming a weapon. Marquise Brown, we know what kind of speed Hollywood brings to the table. Michael Wilson is a wide receiver prospect that I really liked coming out of Stanford last year. He came on early on in the season, and then he's been dealing with some injuries, so he kind of quieted down a little bit. But Michael Wilson is a tall, he's got length, and he's very smooth. He's a very clean athlete, runs very nice routes, and has good hands. Michael Wilson is kind of like your D-Hop replacement. He's definitely not at D-Hop's level, but he's more fluid than D-Hop is, I would say. And it probably, I wouldn't call him a better route runner, but like I said, I think he's a little bit more athletic than D-Hop. Similar size, but good wide receiver. And then of course you got Rondale Moore. I'm waiting for Rondale to do something. Rondale, I don't know if it's injuries. I don't know if it's a quarterback situation. But he's just underwhelming so far in his career. Former 49th overall pick, 2021, only 29 receptions on the year, 260 yards and 1 touchdown. I don't think he's played a whole lot due to some injuries. But again, I expected more out of Rondale, to be perfectly honest with you. Where I think you can take advantage of this team is on the offensive line. The 49ers could absolutely win in the trenches. I think even with Javon Kinlaw and Kevin Givens, they're very Kinlaw has definitely improved as a pass rusher. Kevin Givens is just a very quick-footed defensive tackle on the interior. I think those guys could still win here. I think they could still provide a positive matchup. So I still think Kinlaw, and I still think Givens can be an impact right here. So, um, although it does suck to not have Eric and Hargrave, I still think our boys will show up. So I'm looking forward to it. And I do think that's where the 49ers can completely neutralize this offense if they neutralize the offensive line. And with Bosa, Chase Young, Gregory, Farrell, they have an opportunity to do that. And um, I do think that we'll see some more NASCAR packages, meaning more defensive ends playing over the 3 tech and things like that. Ryan says, how come you and David Lombardi don't do a live on YouTube? That would be awesome to put your guys' thoughts and opinions together as one. I'm definitely not opposed to doing a show with Lombardi. I think Lombardi is a phenomenal beat reporter, journalist, dude. The dude, like, I understand why some people give him a hard time. But at the end of the day, he really does. He produces so much. I think he's really great with the advanced analytics. Like, that's a place, where I don't even dabble in just because of my ADHD alone. I let other people tell me what the advanced stats are, and then I just kind of cherry pick them because I will somehow mess it up. But Lombardi does a great job. His account's growing like crazy. Um, Lombardi's great at his job. And yeah, we've never crossed that bridge. But if it ever opened up, I would be open to it. I met Lombardi at the combine last year. He's tall, very tall. Kind of crazy how tall he is. It's like, damn, you're tall, dude. He's like 6'6". I was like, oh my gosh. It's like, I'm 6'3". I'm not like super short or anything. I was like, dang, Lombardi, you're hella tall. Let's see. What other stuff? So looking at this matchup, Cardinals offense, 49ers defense, we know they're going to be a little bit banged up on the defensive tackle spot. What would I give their O-line? I mean, I'm giving them a solid C right now. That's why I think the 49ers still with Kinlaw and Givens can really get after these guys. Will Hernandez, I think, is beatable. To me, he's a bigger body power style guy, and I do think Kinlaw matches up extremely well with Hernandez. So I think Kinlaw or Givens could still give them fits quite a bit. So I do think the 49ers D-line can still win this. And like I said, even if we see more NASCAR where they kick the DNs inside, like I would project, we're going to see more Cleveland and more Gregory rushing over the guards this game. But I do want to see more of that just in general. I think we don't see as much of that because we have Eric and Hargrave. And they are great pass rushers from the interior. But boy, would I love to see more kind of those longer bodies on the inside. For sure. Oh, here we go. The great Steph Sanchez had an amazing stat. She said Cardinals are 31st or 30th in the league running up the middle. So hoping that is going to help with no Hargrave and Eric 100%. Like I look at that offensive line, and that is a beatable offensive line. The 49ers could take advantage of this just from a pure matchup standpoint. So I guess with that all being said, what would we say? And this is where I'm going to call on you in the chat. Who's going to ball out and who's going to be the defensive player of the game? Obviously, if the offensive line isn't their strongest point. Now, and I don't want to jinx this because this happens to me every single time. Every single time I'm like, oh, they got a weak offensive line. the 49ers D-line is going to feast. They don't. So, I don't know. Maybe that's my own personal challenge to the 49ers defensive line to make sure that they get after these guys and don't let up. But who do you guys think is going to come out and have one of those days? It does sound like Charvarius Ward, like we talked about, will play. Could be a Diamonor Lenore game. Maybe Fred Warner. Maybe Fred Warner, Dre Greenlaw combined game. Or we have someone kind of sneak up on us. maybe Demetrius Flanagan Fowles, or we see like a D Winters in there, or Jalen Graham potentially. It's a great last name, by the way. Who is it going to be? I don't know if you guys saw the 49 hours that the 49ers posted to their YouTube, but man, it was awesome watching Jair Brown get the interception and then watching how all his teammates responded to him. I thought that was really dude, there's something special about Jair Brown. Am I tripping on that? Do you guys feel it too? I'm going off script a little bit and asking you another question before I address our first question, which is defensive player of the game. But does anyone else get those vibes? Like, he's got something special cooking, man. Like you there's something about it. Like we and I think it's also kind of like a conversation that you can relate back to the whole Cam Newton mess that's been going on this last couple days. Um, like when we talk about special qualities of players, we're not always just talking about the physical attributes. We're talking about the intangible qualities. And it's just something intangible about Jair Brown. And again, this is a guy that I loved coming out of Penn State. He's a draft crush of mine, so I already am like super biased towards him. But like, I don't know, just watching him interact with his teammates, it's just like, oh, this feels different. Like it feels like Talanoa Hufanga-esque. I remember that about Talanoa Hufanga. So, dude, I don't know. I like him. All right, let's see what you guys are thinking. I just want straight squirrel. I think this is Jair Brown. So right off the bat, I think first one from the group is calling for Jair Brown to be the defensive player of the game. Dude, I would say this is going to be his second career start, third game. I would say around this game or Baltimore Ravens is when he's really going to start getting comfortable and start feeling at home. Jair Brown, there's another Jair Brown. Straight off the bat, 3 rookies, 3 people calling for the rookie to get player of the. You love to see it, man. Jair Brown and Jake Moody trying to reverse the third round curse since Fred Warner. Mountain Cat says the answer is always Fred Warner. Facts. Jair Brown breakout game. Kinlaw. I picked Kinlaw to be the defensive player of the game last week. He did play really well. However, who would we say was defensive player of the game? Yes, this is by design. I'm glad you guys are catching on. The backwards hat is by design. It's my ode to Brock Purdy. Warner, Warner, player of the game last week. Yeah, he had Yeah. Warner, Bosa played well. Yeah, probably Warner. Let's see who else you guys got in the chat. So it's a lot of Jair Browns, a lot of Fred Warners. Fred Warner will be. D-line needs to be patient. Do we have a Bosa Chase dominant game? Potentially. You know what I love to see from that last game was they lined up Nick Bosa and Chase Young next to each other. So Chase Young was on the edge and Nick Bosa was in the 3 tech. I was like, oh, that's spicy. And guess what? Nick Bosa got right in. He got right in, barely touched. They're like, oh, we don't know how to deal with Nick Bosa over the guard. Like, you got Chase Young and Nick Bosa literally rushing off the same side together. That's dangerous. That's dangerous. What about one of our rookie linebackers? Definitely could be. I'm seeing a lot of Jair Brown. I love it. I love it. Let's go. Yeah, for sure. You know what? I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. I'm gonna hop on the bandwagon. Let's go. Let's go, Jair Brown. Let's go, Jair Brown, defensive player of the game. I'm hopping on the bandwagon too. Um, I'm gonna say Jair Brown. In order to get that, he gets a forced fumble and a scoop and score. He's gonna force the fumble, get a scoop and score. He's gonna take it to the house, plus an interception. So 2 turnovers, 1 is a scoop and score. Tig, player of the game. Kyle Posey did a 49ers film breakdown. Love Kyle, man. He's phenomenal. Managing editor for Niners Nation. He said Tig is the real deal, and we got a star at safety. Pair him with Hubanga. Done deal. 100%. 100%. This is one I like. This has nothing to do with the defense that we're talking about right now, but let's talk about this in a little bit. Let's talk about this when we get to the offensive side. Keep that. Remind me if I forget. Throwback says, I think it will be Jair Brown. And on offense, I think it's CMC again. Ooh. All right. I think we're all going Jair. Love Tig, man. So happy for that dude. He's a baller. Oh, I can explain this before we get to the offensive side. Okay. So Mountain Cat says, hey Brad, when you get a chance, can you better explain the crazy stat Steve Young spit out? So for my understanding of what Steve Young was saying, if you guys missed it, Steve Young joined the KMBR and he talked about a crazy stat that the 49ers offense has. And he says if you only count the passes that Brock Purdy has thrown at or behind the line of scrimmage, the 49ers still have more yards per catch than any other team in the NFL. So basically, the point being that particular stat to me is a yak stat. So that if basically the 49ers are gaining so much yardage, like, so let's say a bubble screen, let's say a dump off to like a quick out, like just a little quick pass to CMC or something like that. Those passes, if you just isolated those passes at or behind the line of scrimmage, the yards gained from those are greater on average per any other team across the league and their entire stats using the entire field to pass. So that was my interpretation of it. It was a little confusing, but that was my interpretation, is that if they're throwing bubble screens, if they're throwing behind the line of scrimmage, those passes, if you just isolate those, the yards per attempt is greater than any other offense in the NFL that is using the entire field, if that makes sense. So that was my take on that one. I didn't finish it. I didn't finish it, but I definitely started it, and I got more than halfway through. I freaking loved it. I got distracted from other things per usual. I got squirreled by something else. But yes, it was good. I love the dude. He's such a humble. I would say one of the words that comes to my mind. Uh, I would say one of the words that comes to my mind when I think of Tig is real. He just feels like such a genuine human being. Like, I've been watching JT O'Sullivan's quarterback breakdowns of Brock Purdy. He does a great job explaining the schemes. 100%. 100%. Man, the type of insight you can get from a quarterback who's played in the NFL who actually watches the tape. That may or may not have been shade at someone named Cam Newton. But for the guy who actually watches the tape and actually breaks it down, he does a phenomenal job. Uh, but I think the key part there is he actually watches, unlike someone else who has been creating headlines for the majority of the week. Sorry, I couldn't resist. I've just been talking about it so much. It's crazy. I did a 37-minute. It's just crazy what this job has led me to do that I just never thought I would ever do, Like, I don't think ever once when I envisioned doing 49ers content would I envision doing a 37-minute basically video breakdown of Cam Newton clarifying his takes, which still didn't clarify anything other than the fact that he doesn't watch Brock Purdy play football. So, yeah, good stuff. Yeah, there's some great guys. There's man, if you are a fiend for 49ers content, man, you guys have it so good. Like, we as a community have it so good. Like, you can literally get whatever type of 49ers content you're looking for. It doesn't matter if it really doesn't matter, man. It really doesn't matter. You get whatever you want, whether it's outside people, whether it's content creators, whether it's beat reporters, whatever. It doesn't matter. You get whatever you want. It's crazy. Crazy world we live in. Crazy world we live in. You guys are funny though. Bro, that's what I'm saying. His whole thing was a giant contradiction. My main takeaway from Cam was he was upset at everyone calling him out, which I can understand because they weren't really talking about his take. They were kind of just taking shots at him, which I definitely understood because that was one thing that I definitely didn't do when talking about Cam. But his take just sucked, and he didn't understand that his take sucked. He tried to clarify his take without recognizing that all he was doing was just reiterating that he doesn't watch the film. Like, that was the whole point. He just reiterated, like, yeah, I don't watch Brock. He said, I said this about Brock, but I'm just saying it more eloquently this time. Same meaning, same thing, just more eloquently with more words and not as bitter sounding as he first said it, but he still said the same things. He didn't clarify anything. His take still remained the same. He just said it in so many more words and a little bit more calmer. Um, he didn't change a whole lot about it. But again, he's entitled to his opinion. I just wish he would actually watch the tape. There's I don't know about you guys, but I just cannot envision Cam Newton sitting down in his free time, pulling up all 22 and just watching Brock Purdy. Can you? Can you envision that? I can't. I just can't. There's nothing about it that I could see just Cam sitting down, breaking down tape. And I saw a lot of jokes that actually made me chuckle a little bit. They're like, Cam didn't even break down tape when he was playing. I was like, damn. It's like, that's crazy, but also hilarious at the same time. It's like, oh my God. But that's like the point. The whole point was, man, you're just not watching, man. You're just not watching. But whatever. Yeah. You brought me back. All right, let's get back to the task at hand, shall we? The Cardinals is what we're talking about. I've already talked enough about Cam Newton today. I don't need to talk about him anymore. Because I'm sure if you're in here, you've probably seen the millions of videos that I've posted about him at this point. So I'm over. Let's talk about something else. All right. So we picked, I think the chat collectively picked either Jair Brown, Fred Warner. I did see some Kinlaws in there, but I think mostly the chat is talking about Jair Brown as defensive player of the game, and I could see it. I want to see it, and I'm looking forward to it. Let's do offense, shall we? So Zaven Collins, I like Zaven, and I like that they moved him to edge. He played middle linebacker before, but he's just a versatile player. Something about the Cardinals drafting versatile players and not knowing how to play them is just absolutely hilarious. It goes all the way back to Hassan Reddick, them drafting him to be a middle linebacker instead of putting him on the edge. Then they drafted what's his name? Dude out of Clemson. I'm gonna try to beat the chat. It's late. My brain is not pumping on all cylinders right now. I don't think I'm gonna beat the chat. But the dude out of Clemson, safety linebacker hybrid, and then they take Zaven Collins. They just don't know how to play these guys. They don't know how to properly identify where these specimens on the defensive side of the ball need to be playing. But they got Zaven Collins, Ledbetter. Is he the guy that I'm thinking of? Let me double check here. No, he's not. There was one guy. I'm not even seeing his name anymore. Whatever. Oh, there he is. No, this guy. Bro, he hit Trent Williams with he had this back-to-back sequence against the San Francisco 49ers the first time. I think he beat Colton McKivitz on the right side. I think he got a sack, and then he moved over to the left side. Yeah, I don't think he got the sack, but he put a move on Trent, and he got Trent. And I was like, who's Dennis Gardeck? I was like, he just cooked the last two plays in a row. I was like, who's that guy? So that was a guy that I never paid attention to, but I remember watching the defensive film. I was like, who is this guy? Throwback says, looks like Brock Purdy will be our first Pro Bowl quarterback since Jeff Garcia. Looks like a lot of our players will be Pro Bowlers. It looks like we're going to break the record for fan voting. Which, are you surprised that our fans are ravenous when it comes to supporting our team? Like, that's why you don't want to mess with the red and gold, man. We have an army of content creators. We have an entire infantry of fans, and man, when we get excited about something, we are a wave. So good. And I've seen so many people like go up against 49er fans and piss us off, and then we throw the wave at them. They can't handle it. They like crumble under the pressure. Like, it's too much. When 49er fans are mad at you and they all know about you and they want to let you know how mad they're at, whoo, we're like legitimately like an army, like, online. I love it. I love this fan base, dude. We have the best fan base. We have the best fan base in the world. You can't convince me otherwise. I love when we are galvanized. Like, again, this Cam Newton thing, I think it just galvanized us for Brock. Like, we've had a lot of kind of split. We were split there for a minute with our fan base, with the quarterback and all that stuff. But nah, we're galvanized. I can't think of the last time. I cannot think of the last time uh I've seen like a 49er fan like slander uh Brock. All I'm seeing is apologies. If they did, I'm sorry. All this stuff. I saw one guy who I remember listening to a Twitter space. He said that he would rather see Trey Lance start than win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. And he said it with his whole chest. And I was like, this is the craziest thing I've ever heard. A 49er fan said that he would rather win and lose with Trey Lance at quarterback than win a Super Bowl with Brock Purdy. And I was like, this is the most insane take I have ever heard in my life. And he stood 10 toes on it. But it was funny because I just saw a tweet from him to apologizing to Brock for all the things that he said to him because he's cooking, and how now they want to go win a Super Bowl. And I was like, damn, dude, damn, it happens fast, huh? Happens fast. It's like, this is why that's why you don't say that. No, it was not Coach. Was not Coach. No. I think Coach has some strong takes. I don't know if Coach would ever say that, though. I don't know. I could be wrong. But let's look at this defense. We've seen this defense. Buda Baker, I think, will be back. I'm not sure Buda was playing last time. So when Buda Baker's by far the best player on their defense, in my opinion. Him and Kittle have epic battles consistently. Just unfortunately for Buda, Kittle seems to win those battles. So I'm gonna say I don't see the 49ers having too much trouble with this defense. I do think they should be able to do whatever they want to do, especially with how Kyle's been in his bag. I just don't see it, man. I think the 49ers should be able to walk through these dudes with relative ease. So that being said, who's going to be our 49ers offensive player of the game? Who's going to have that day? against the Cardinals. Who's going to be the guy that we're going to be hyping up at the end of this game? Purdy homecoming. Very true. Very true. I do expect a lot of Purdyites. I do expect a lot of Purdy folks at this game in Arizona. So maybe Purdy has got a little extra incentive, but I do imagine they're going to want to run the ball often. Low key with no Elijah Mitchell. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually see some Jordan Mason for once. You know, like I know we still got limited Jordan Mason, and the one reason he got the touchdown is because CMC had just busted off a huge run, so they took him out. But maybe this feels like a good game to get Jordan Mason cooking a little bit. Like, I want to get JP acclimated. I know I'm all for playing CMC as much as you can, but I also want to keep JP fresh, keep him sharp, and because you never know when you're going to need him. So I want to keep him sharp. So we'll see. Let's see what the chat's talking about for player of the game. CMC. Cheyenne wants BA to have a day. BA. Kittle with 3 touchdowns. This could be a Kittle game. Skittles. Chef Purdy. Brock Purdy, 3 touchdowns over 300 yards for homecoming. I could see it. Purdy will ball. Purdy per usual. Kittle over the middle. Brock Purdy's hometown. I bet you he's going to do really well. Been a Niner fan since Joe showed up, and to see our legends flock to these games says a lot about this team. I actually do agree with that. I actually do. I would say there's a lot more alumni that show up these days. I've seen Joe Montana at a 49ers football game more times in the last 2 years than I had ever seen him at any other previous 49er game. Let's see. Any other offensive players? I see a Debo. Oh, yeah, we want to talk about Braden Willis a little bit. Purdy. I want to see more Braden Willis. We saw a little Braden Willis towards the end of the game last week. I want to see more. I do. I want to see Kyle dial something up for Braden Willis. I think that would be fun. I think that would be a good time. Get the rookie involved? Why not? Let the rookies have some fun. Come on, Kyle. Come on. You can do it. You can do it, Kyle. Offensive player of the game for this one. Who? Offensive player of the game for this one. I like the Brock Purdy one, but I kind of want to go in a different direction. For some reason, I want to say Jordan Mason. I don't know why I want to say Jordan Mason because Jordan Mason is probably going to get like 5 carries. You know what? I'm going against the grain today. I'm going against the grain. I think Brock Purdy is the acceptable answer. I think it's probably the right answer, but I'm feeling a little spicy today. I'm going to go Jordan Mason. Jordan Mason, 2 touchdowns, like getting a little CMC, little rest action. Let Jordan Mason carry the rock a little bit. I don't know. I'm feeling a little too tutty game from JP. I think Brock Purdy drives him down the field. They get it close. Smash mouth JP. I don't know. We'll see. I'll probably be completely wrong, but why not? Why not? I'm gonna go against the grain a little bit. I'm going JP. JP Mason. All right, let's get right into it. I want to see your score predictions for this game. I want to see how much you're buying into this being a trap game. I want to see how much you're buying into this being a blowout victory as the San Francisco 49ers have a hat and t-shirt game. And you know what that means? Hat and t-shirts mean they got a chance to win the West. And whoo, boy, have we owned the West recently, and I absolutely love it. I love it so much so that we barely even think about it because our number one priority this whole time has been the number 1 seed. So we've been like, yeah, NFC West is cool, but that's kind of a given, right? You know, like we're gonna get that, not a big deal. We want the 1 seed. So drop your score predictions in the chat if you got them. Let's see what we're. Oh my goodness, 72-6. Definitely not 63-21. Man, Brandon Staley got canned today, and they canned the GM. Ooh, brutal. 23-3, 34-17, 34-17, 28-12. LOL is the score for Jason. 42-13, just win. I like it. I like that energy. 38-24, 42-16, 35-14, 35-13. I feel like one of those here we go. 35-17. Yeah, we got in the bag. We got 4 down to 17. And we got a 56-24. Hand t-shirt game. No trap game, Brad. Run a table 42-14. And the winner goes to the gentleman in the red cap wearing Brock Purdy jersey. 24-17. 34-17. 30-20. 35-13. 42-14. 31-17. 38-17. 24-17. 45-17. Here's a 45-17. 30-6. 3-0 SF Masterclass. Oh, hey, Zeus, you're just in time for your score prediction. Let's see. 72-6 is absolutely wild, but I appreciate the energy. I think it's yes, sir. Yes, I wish I had a Sourdough Sam soundboard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. 45-7. 36-9. I'm getting the sage busted out, pal. 45-17. Oh, we got 3 score predictions. Well, at least you're consistent with the 49er score of 45, but you're very all over the place with the Cardinals score. I predict pain. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, you feel the trap lords are going to dictate this game? You feel like this is a trap game? You feeling a trap pain? I hope not. I hope not. All I want for Christmas is a W. That's what I want. 34-6, 34-24, 49-19, 45-10, 31-20, 32-12. Oh, we're the ones. Okay, thank you. Thank you for clarifying. I think that's what he meant. I'm not really sure. I hope that's what he meant. I don't want to deal with no pain. None of that. 49-10. Oh boy. What was last week? Last week was 28-16. I'm going to go 34-10. 34-10 is going to be the score. And so yeah, 34-10. And how they get to 10 is no, I'm not even trying to do the math. 34-10. That's what I'm going with. That's what I'm going with. Oh, that's right. I forgot. Is it do we gotta build a custom slip? I forgot. Let me see here. All right, you know what time it is. You know what time it is. It is time to build some winners. You already know what to do. Download the Sleeper app. Use the code SF9ers. Get up to $500 matching on your deal. I'm going to pull it up right now. Let's build a slip. So let's see what we got. We're going to do a 49ers Arizona specific matchup. So the deal is I'm going to pick 2 Niner players and 1 Arizona Cardinal to build out this slip. So if you're not familiar, we're doing some DFS right now. You get your apps out. You see we got the matchups. We're going to pick and choose who we want to go. Did we win? I believe we did, actually. I lost the ones. I went crazy last week with like trying some insane, like out of pocket bets. And I was like, ooh, if I hit, this going to be big. I didn't hit on any of them, but I had some fun making it. And I learned something in the process. But I do believe the one that we made hit. And I can't find it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure we hit on ours. So let's see. All right, I feel like we got to do Deebo Samuel because Deebo Samuel's been going crazy. Do we want to do an anytime touchdown? Do we want to do over under reception yards 57.5? Do we want to do a reception touchdown at a half a touchdown? So if you pick the over, so if he scores 1 reception touchdown, we get a 2.24 multiplier, which is the biggest one that we got. What are we thinking? Reception yards feels easy, right? 57.5. Is Debo going over or under? That's what I was thinking. I'm thinking of just doing the reception yards because he's been like last week he had 149 reception yards. The week prior he had 116, and then the week before that he had 79, and then the week before that he had 63. So his last 4 performances have gone over. So I'm going to take the over on that one. Should we do Purdy for the culture or CMC or Ayuk or Kittle? These are tough ones. I'm going to see which one has the best options. Because, like, for example, Christian McCaffrey's 85 line is set at 85.5 rushing yards. Only his line is set at half of a rushing touchdown. So 1 touchdown, you win on the ground. 1 touchdown through the air, you win. That's kind of dicey, though. But like last week, he didn't have a rushing touchdown. Let's do Purdy. Let's do Purdy for the homecoming. So Purdy, we can do over, under 1.5 touchdowns. So if he gets 2 touchdowns, we're going to smash the over. If he goes under, if we pick the under, meaning if he only scored 1 touchdown through the air. I don't like betting against Purdy, though. I don't like doing that. We could do over, under interceptions. The line is set at half an interception. So 1 interception is the over. 0 interception wins. Out of the last 3 weeks, or out of the last 4 weeks, he has 2 interceptions. That's an option. We can do completions. 20.5 is the line. Go over, under on that. Ooh, here's a sneaky one. Rush yards, 7.5. Does Brock Purdy get over 7.5 rushing yards? He got 7 last week, 9 the week before, 1 the week prior, 14 before that. That doesn't feel like a good one. That feels sketch. So, do we feel like Brock Purdy's going to be throwing touchdowns today or this game? Do we feel that? Because if we feel like Purdy's going to get 2 touchdowns minimum, then we should smash that over. All right, let's smash the over on the Purdy. All right, so we're gonna get Debo. We're gonna get Purdy. All right, we got to pick one. We got to do one Cardinals player. So, what Cardinals player are we going to do? They don't have any. Oh, no, they do. They've got. Dang, they got like. You can only pick a touchdown for Marquise Brown. They don't have anything else than that. McBride, you could do 49.5 yards as the line. We can go over, under. Reception yards set at 5.5. Reception touchdown. I don't like that one. Yeah, that's not a great one. I don't know. I think our safe bet might be to go James Conner or Kyler Murray. So James Conner's rushing line set at 51.5. He has his reception yards is set at 8.5. Ooh, that might be a good one though. You think this defense is letting James Conner go for over 8.5 receiving yards. That's a close one, man. That's a close one. You guys want to go Connor anytime touchdown? He's got 2 touchdowns last week, but the 3 weeks prior he had no touchdowns. So that one's kind of dicey. Rush TD potentially. Or we could set the line at 64.5 rushing and receiving, except he's hitting 50% on that one over the last 4 weeks. Ooh, that's a tough one. All right, let's see what the chat's talking about. I'm seeing Connor over 8.5 receptions. I'm seeing Connor with a turnover, under on a Connor touchdown. We've got backup. Ooh, that's a good point. We do have backup touchdowns, but we had that stat. Remember, Steph Sanchez pulled that the Arizona Cardinals are like 31st or last in the league at running up the middle. So that's an interesting element to bring to this. Connor always cooks us on the ground. So far, I'm seeing Connor and taking the over on the rushing yards. Are we feeling confident about that? The line is set at 51.5 rushing yards. Connor had 105 rushing yards last week against Pitt, 27 rushing yards against the Rams, 62 against Houston, 73 against Atlanta. So 51.5. I don't know. What are we thinking? What are we thinking? I want this to be a chat pick. I know we're going to all kind of have different thoughts, but I kind of want to get kind of the sense of what we're thinking on this one. Connor touchdown should be free. Michael says he'll give him 51, so that would be an over. I can't root for Connor and an over. I'm a sports capper. Take the Connor touchdown. Oh boy. Sports capper. So that means like you set betting lines. That's what Monica's saying. I would love to hear more about what Monica's thoughts are on this. We might have I don't know what a sports capper is. I'm going to be a 100 with you. I'm assuming that these are the people who set the lines that we're talking about. You just faded Cardinals players. You're like, whatever the Cardinals are going to do, it's not going to be good. Nick writes a sports capper. Hey, that's actually fire. Boom, roasted. Boom, roasted. All right, let's see what we got, huh? All right, so if we go, are we saying anytime touchdown for Connor? Do we think Kyler's going to have an interception? No, we could do Kyler. I am conflicted on this one. I am conflicted. Kyler INT. We want to do Kyler INT. Is that what we want? That way we're at least rooting for Kyler's downfall. And then if we get Kyler's downfall, then 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 we're hyped, like we're double hyped. So this is how it breaks out though. Kyler hasn't thrown an interception the past 2 weeks, but that was against Pittsburgh and Rams. He threw an interception against Houston. He threw an interception against ATL. So this is for the last 4 weeks at least, this is hitting at 50%. So do we want to hit the over on Kyler interception? I think we're all agreeing with Kyler INT. I think even if we don't agree with Kyler INT, we can get behind Kyler INT, and I think that is the most important part of it. So if we're feeling like super confident on this one, if we threw 54 bucks on this, if this thing can focus. I can't wait till I can pull this up on the screen so you guys can see everything that I'm doing. Come on, you can focus. Don't focus on me. Oh, oh, oh. I promise we're going to get the desktop version pretty soon. Yeah, it's not going to happen. So if I put, like, for example, if I put 54, I don't know why it's automatically putting 54. So if I just put 50, and a nice round number, there's a 3.7x multiplier, which means we could win 188 bucks. If I wanted to keep it simple, we could do 20 to win 75. Promo says protected. There's a promo, protected pick up to 50 bucks. All right, well that's interesting. I might go with the 50 bucks one. Keep it spicy. I'm going to keep it spicy. All right, so if we win 50, or if we put down 50, we win over 200. All right, I'm going to lock it in. So we're going, just for a recap, we're going over Deebo Samuel reception yards. We're going Brock Purdy 2 touchdowns. We're going Kyler Murray 1 interception. Does that sound like a winner? That sounds like a winner. That sounds like a Jair Brown interception on Kyler Murray. Sounds like Brock Purdy 2 touchdowns at homecoming in front of his family. And Deebo Samuel has been on an absolute terror. I'll take that bet. All right, that's going to be the SF Niners group slip for the day. I'm going to lock it in. Contest entered, baby. Let's go. Have any of you guys done any of these slips, and have you guys won? I want to know that too. Have you guys won anything? Like I said last week, I got real spicy with it and I created some crazy 8-leg parlays. And I think like I picked Stroud. Stroud screwed me on a couple of them. Yeah, so this is cool. So they're doing protected picks. It says get your entry back up to $50 if your contest loses. Does that mean like I'm still like figuring this stuff out, man. This app's pretty crazy. They do all kinds of different stuff. So that particular one that I had was a protected pick. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I'm ready for a winner though. Post a screenshot in the Discord. Discord or Datcord? Actually, Chili, can you drop the link for me? I love you, Chili. Shout out the legend. Shout out the Discord legend, Chili. All right, I did it. I get it. I got it. So that's going to be our sleeper slip for the week. Hopefully there we go. Chili dog. Let's go. There it is. All right. Shout out Chili. Shout out all you guys. Again, remember, if you want to get in on this, you can get up to 500 match first deposit using the code SF Niners. Yeah, so you have like 2 hours to do protected picks. There's like a timer on it. So you only have so much time to get it in. Get it in. Yeah, 2 hours and 30 minutes. So let's round. Yeah, we didn't do bold takes today. Let's finish with bold takes. My first bold take is our slip's gonna cash. Let's go. No, that's a average take. I still like my bold take for Jair Brown. My bold take for Jair Brown is going to be one forced fumble, scoop and score, and one interception as well. That's mine. So I picked Tig to be the defensive player of the game, and I did say one interception, so I'm putting my money where my mouth is. Putting my money where my mouth is by literally betting on a Kyler Murray interception. So that's my bold take. Let's see. Bold take. Aponte comes on after the game, and that's not a bold take. Jair Brown 2 sacks. Ooh, I like that. All right, I think I'm in. Dude, I haven't been in the Discord in a minute. Where do I drop the Discord? General chat? General chat, baby? I dropped it. Winner, chicken dinner. Let's go. Dropped it. Dropped it in the chat. Let's go. Oh, I dropped them in the wrong spot. Oh, there we go. Sleeper picks. There we go. Shout out Chili, man. Helping this boomer out with Discord. That court. I don't even know. I love my profile pic on that cord. Ooh. All right, guys. I don't know. Do we see much bold takes? Oh wait, I got to get to the bold takes. The Aussie fake punt. Shirt is fire. Thank you. It's one of my favorite 49er shirts. Thank you, Melvin. Appreciate that. Late night stream gang, you know the vibes. Bold take Isaiah Oliver interception. Ooh, that is bold. JBINT, Nick Bosa strip sack, BATD, Mason TD, Kelsey TD, BCB rushing TD. Okay. Kittle hat trick. I could see that. I could see Kittle having a day. Debo kick return touchdown. Oh, bold take. Purdy joined the hard hat club this week. I like that one. That's a creative one. Bold take. Mitch fake punt this time. He's going to run it for a touchdown down the sideline. Yeah, we need to see that again. I still need the Trent Williams touchdown. That's the fake play that I still need. Brown gets tipped interception from Murray. That cashes for us, and Fred catches one from the inevitable backup that they put near the end of the game. Hot take, I would love to see the 49ers on Hard Knocks. I know they probably don't want it, but I would love it. I would love to see that. Bold take, Chase Young forces fumble, and Nick Bosa scoop and score. Okay. Defense gets a lot of sacks. Okay, I like that. All right, that's it for us today. Oh, I need it more than I need air. But shout out to all you guys. Thank you for joining me super late tonight. It's 9:30 where I'm at. This is crazy later than normal. But again, like I said, I wanted to come on and vibe with the people. Shout out to SDS. Appreciate all you guys as always. Vibing, grabbing your cookies. Let's go. Get your cookies on the way out. I don't know if you guys saw it. I did the cookie thing on the Cam video, and there was hella cookies in the chat. I was like, damn, this makes me happy. Love to see it. Shout out to all you guys. Hopefully you have a phenomenal rest of your night. Friday night. I'm sleeping in tomorrow. I can't wait. Appreciate all you guys. You guys know only crazy things will put me on a live on a Saturday. So best case scenario, I'll see you Sunday, and we will talk then about hopefully a big time 49ers W. Appreciate all you. I'm out here for now. Peace. Smash that like button if you haven't already. Love to see it.